They make these things bigger, they make them smaller. The reason I refer to this as the workhorse, it's the one I've seen fish with the most, simply because you can turn them over faster. I fished on a boat that fished 8 miles, Scandies Road. Those things were miserable. Yeah, you can fill them up, but it takes forever to clear the table. Alright.
Okay, now Andy told you we catch those golden king crab deep. We've got those over 1,500 feet deep on average. Can we pull that much line? We're going to fill this boiler up 3 times and empty the line out before we even get to that pot. So you're actually going to, at least in the Bering Sea, you're going to long, 300 feet in. Excuse me, 150, working on 300. I've got 3 shots of 25 fathom on this one. Tiny shot of about 5 fathoms after that. Plus a small shot of about 5 fathoms.
We refer to this shot as the surge shot. The one we keep replaced. So that we don't lose that pot. Angry steel, man. You're out there in 25-foot seas, you can imagine what that's like. Wow is right.
So cool. Now, we did used to have live king crab in it, but here's what would happen. We'd have 5 empty shells, we'd have 10 live crab, you'd have a 40-pound octopus in there. He'd look at you and say, hey man, I don't know what's going on. No, it was a buffet. So Captain Dave had it set up like it was fishing on the bottom. I got 3 riders in my side. Andy has 2 on his. When we yank
a guy, the thing about his job, if he screws up, he's usually okay, all right? Somebody else pays the price for his mistakes. Those guys are trying to get that thing over the rail. You're counting on it to get it down as soon as possible, get those bottom dogs to hook that thing, and then you want him to set the top dogs. Right up here, you see those steel hooks come in and grab that thing, center it. Now, he's going to pop that thing up, and if the kid brings in the table, guys on either side undo those door straps, they throw that door up, and the next thing he's going to do is double action this thing. Now, I've been over here for 20 hours. I haven't had a whole lot to eat. I'm living on Copenhagen and coffee. I screw up and forget those hooks. You know what happens. That 800 pounds does not care who's in front of it. The kid holding the table, I always get wound up about this because it drove me nuts. He puts all his faith in me not forgetting those. He's got his head down because the wind's blowing jellyfish stingers down on his face. So he's got his head like this. And I'm screaming, do not trust me. Do not count on me. I screw up once, and we're sending you home in a box. It's such a dangerous game to be played. You have to be on your A game all the time when you run the hydro.
Okay, I'm just going to speak ecologically really quick about the pot. Sometimes these pots will get away from us, okay? And they'll sit down there and they'll fish until they rust away. It's called ghost fishing. So what we do, crabbers came up with this, and the state made it a law. We cut an 18-inch wide hole in the side of every pot. It's going to be on Andy's side, the hydro side. We sew that back together with a cotton line that's biodegradable. After about 40 days, that
for 3 years. We hadn't had a red king crab season in 2. They just had one. They only gave out 2 million pounds just to see what's out there, to see how long it'd take to catch it. Codfish. You see the cod that we caught? They're the most carnivorous fish on the bottom of the ocean. Do you see the mouths on those things? They used to come from the Gulf of Alaska into the Bering Sea, hit that cold water, turn around and go back. The Bering Sea's warmed up 2 to 3 degrees. That's all it took. Now the codfish, they come from the Gulf of Alaska into the Bering Sea by the millions. They're not turning around and going back. They're finding codfish farther north than they've ever found them before. When king crab and snow crab, when their eggs hatch, the little ones are crawling around the bottom of the ocean floor. Codfish are sucking them up like a vacuum cleaner on the bottom. You know, like I said, 47 years crab fishing. The last 12 years, I've watched the stocks going down. And so 9 years ago, I decided I'm going to fish the predators. So I use the same pots like crab fishing, just like this. Configure them a little different. Instead of the tunnels going up like this, we put them just like that. Then we got these triggers, they're fingers. They're plastic fingers. They're just like this. And we put them in the pots, in the trick right here in these doors there. Now, codfish can swim out, they can't swim back, or they can swim in, they can't swim out. 9 years ago, my first season fishing, in 5 months I caught a little over 900,000 pounds at a 5.5 pound average. Just this last winter, I fished the same amount of time, 5 months. I did 3.1 million pounds at a 10.5 pound average. The production over tripled, size over doubled. There's a bunch of codfish out there, 20, 30, 40, and some 50 pound cod. We've never seen that size cod in the Bering Sea, ever. So, you know, if you're watching the show, for those of you who've been watching Deadliest Catch, they're fishing cod on the program, because that's the only thing out there to fish. They are fishing crab. They're fishing these things right here. They're getting quota. They're leasing quota from other boats that fish these. We keep this water at 43 degrees. These crab can't survive in warm water. That's why they're down there 600 to 2,000 feet. Mother Nature hasn't gone down there and warmed the water up that deep yet. So the codfish can't go down there and eat the little ones. That's why these crab are still surviving in the Bering Sea. You know, the fishermen in trouble, they're in trouble. When I first started fishing Apelios, it was 330 million pound quota. Like I said, they haven't had a season for 3 years, so there's a lot of fishermen, their families dependent on that. So I don't know. I'm hoping it'll come back. We'll see. They told me farther up north, they've seen the waters warm up to 4 to 5 degrees. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to let Andy talk about these pegs. Thank you so much.
Go kids, thank you guys. Okay, folks, you see these colorful tags. These tags, they're part of this fishery. We have to register our gear every year for that season. If we get a fish, red king crab, we got 100 pots, we get 100 tags, and we're going to put it on that diver buoy directly connected to that pot. At the end of the season, they're worthless, okay? And what we do is these things start to collect in gear sheds and are all over the boat. We used to pull this pot, nothing on top of it, okay? 2017, Captain Terry Barkley, one of the captains on board this boat. He gets a phone call. We all live together in an apartment up here. He gets a phone call, he hangs up that phone, and he goes white. And I look at him, I says, Terry, what's up? He says, my brother's boat just rolled over on the Charleston bar. He thought everybody off the back, but my brother was trapped. He flies home, he goes, takes care of business, he comes back up when he thinks he's getting right. He comes out here and he takes one of the tags that had been laying around, and he wrote a little memorial to his brother in loving memory of my brother, Captain Tex Barkley. Rest in peace. And he put it on this pot. It inspired us. We've lost brothers and sisters in this thing. It became a memorial pot. And then you guys started to ask what's going on. Some gal asked us, she said, hey, I lost my dad 3 months ago. He was supposed to be on this trip. Can I put one on? You bet. Gave him a memorial plaque. As Captain Terry started to discuss the deals with his sister-in-law and his nieces and nephews, it made